Well, what time is it? It is playoff time, and we're diving right in here on Friday Night Red Zone. We start in Region 5B. Plenty of talented squads fill the bracket, all trying to be the team that can finally take down Maury. The Commodores, of course, with other ideas. We're going to kick it off in Suffolk. Nansemond River hosting Bethel in the 4-5 matchup. Warriors up 10-7 in the third, but a turning point right here. The UVA commit Derek Fisher coming up with the interception, takes it all the way back for the score. Bruins jump in front, 14-10. Bethel getting the ball back and going to the air. Alex Lewis dropping back, airs it out for Antonio Cummings. Behind the defender, another touchdown, 21-10. 21-18 now in the fourth, but more from the visitors. Amari Pryor, he's been a workhorse this season, pushing his way for the 4-yard touchdown, 28-18. And then it's that man again after the Nansemond River completion. Fisher, both the strip and the recovery. Bethel stunning Nansemond River, 28-18 the final. So, who will the Bruins face? Top-seeded Kings Fork welcoming Granby. Bulldogs waste no time. First drive, Isaiah Gilliam takes the handoff. Watch him spin out of trouble, take it the rest of the way, 6-0 Kings Fork. Next time down, a Catch of the Year nominee. Za'Darius Wen reaching out, corralling the ball, pulling it in, worth another look in slow motion. Bulldogs go up 12-0. Second quarter after a fumble, DeAndre Artis-Boone pulls in the reception, gets into pay dirt. Kings Fork on to the second round with a 38-6 victory. Defending champ Maury carrying a 9-game winning streak into the postseason, meeting Woodside. Commodores get the ball to start, and this play helps them get good field position here pretty fast. Then, Tayshawn Branch finishing the job, 19-yard run to the house. That's a touchdown. Maury getting the ball back. They capitalize again with this play. Damo Everett, Javon Wiggins. Watch him do the rest. Whoop, makes the moves, makes another one. 54 yards to the house. And then it's Branch again on a roll. Puts Maury up 20-0, only halfway through the first quarter. Commodores roll into the second round with a convincing win over Woodside. Norview and Warwick rounding out the 5B bracket. Raiders up big in the second, looking for more. How about Avion Tucker? 80-yard dash, outrunning everybody to the end zone. Warwick goes up 29-0. Less than a minute to go in the half. Defense doing its thing. Christopher Harrison times the ball, coming up with the pick. Raiders get the ball back with a chance to do more damage, and they do. It's Tucker again, weaving his way through and in for another score. Warwick cruising past the Pilots, setting up a date with Maury next week. We're just getting started on Friday Night Red Zone. Coming up, we'll cover the rest of the regional action and tell you who's moving on and who's going home. We're back after this. Green Run making the state semifinals in 3 of the last 4 years, and Indian River looking primed to make a run as well. We kick off our coverage of the Region 5A quarterfinals with Romello Styles. Mello?
Well, Mark, round 1. Well, as we know, in the playoffs, only 2 things can happen. You can win and move on. You can lose, pack up your bags, clean out your locker, and go home. Have 2 games that were very interesting, 2 different games. Let's take a look. Let's start things off in Chesapeake as the Indian River Braves welcome in the Kempsville Chiefs. Braves ball, oh my lord, Malik Carew finds Ryan Robinson in the end zone. This game was pretty much out of hand, but the Chiefs continue to fight. But the Braves defense here showing why they're a favorite in the playoff picture. Chiefs ball again, and Kamai George comes up with a big sack. Yeah, big fella. And let's show the Braves back on offense. Rashard Pope Jr. rips off a big 30-plus yarder. The Braves would give the ball back to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs need to put some points on the board, but Ryan Robertson says, nah, INT, bye-bye, pack your bags. The Indian River is going to walk away with a big round 1 victory, 47-14. Now, let's head over to Virginia Beach, where Deep Creek walked into Green Run to take on the Stallions. Stallions ball, Luke Ashcroft finds Xavion Cleveland, and Cleveland is just dragging defenders down the field. Ashcroft back to pass again. He's looking down the field, and he finds Devin Miller all alone like Will Smith on that episode of Fresh Prince. Stallions on the board. Stallions ball again. Ashcroft looking to pass again, and this time he finds Xavion Cleveland in the end zone. A nice pass. Cleveland is a top-flight security guard of the world. Hornets ball. Dejon Everett. He's going to roll right. And let me get a number 2, a number 4, and a Stallion INT by Xavion Cleveland. Cleveland putting on a performance on both sides of the ball. Deep Creek would get the ball back, and Everett looking to atone for his past mistakes. He does just that. Throws it right over the defender into the hands of Michael Jones. Who? Michael Jones. Stallions ball again. Ashcroft looking to pass again. Guess who? Lucky number 7. Savion Cleveland with the touchdown. And the Stallions are going to walk away with this one. A first round 36-14 victory. The two winners tonight, Green Run and Indian River, they now go back to the drawing board and get ready for round 2. Reporting in Chesapeake, Romello Stiles, WTKR News 3 Sports.
Mello, thanks as always. We'll stay on the beach and head to Bayside. Marlins taking on Salem, third quarter, 21-13 Sun Devils. They add to it. Jason Harden, the rushing touchdown. All of a sudden, 2-score lead for Salem. No quit in Bayside, though. Cam Kirby showing off the deep ball. Breon Hardnett has a step on his man, makes the catch, gets deep into Sun Devil territory. That would set up this. Kirby again, putting it up for his favorite target, Hardnett. Nice extension for the touchdown reception, but that's as close as the Marlins can get. Salem triumphs 28-19. And your other Region 5A quarterfinal tonight, Cox triumphant 42-7 over Floyd Kellum in a battle of the beach. Cox will move on to face Indian River next week. Should be a good one there at the home of the Falcons. Oscar Smith rolling through its regular season 9-1, only falling to Gonzaga out of D.C. in the season opener. The Tigers storming their way to another Southeastern District title, earning the top seed in Region 6A and a first-round bye. Western Branch, meanwhile, the 5 seed would face Smith with a win over L.C. Bird. Bruins looking to make something happen in the first, but the Skyhawks swarm. Braden Harper comes up with the sack. So how about the second? Western Branch falling into an early hole. Tyrell Allen takes the handoff and goes 18 yards for the touchdown. Bird takes the 6-0 lead. Bruins have an answer. Timothy Pierce looking deep, connecting with Amari Harmon. Goes up and gets it. This will go for a 60-yard touchdown play. Western Branch up 7-6, but it's L.C. Bird rattling off 29 unanswered from there. Skyhawks end the Bruins campaign 35-7 the final. Elsewhere in 6A, Lansdowne and Manchester. Winner gets Thomas Dale in Chester. Eagles giving the Lancers all they can handle. Anthony Turner airs it out for Christian Williams. 56-yard TD conversion. That'll tie the game at 14 apiece. Manchester answering. Landon Abernathy on the quarterback keeper. Takes it 4 yards in for the score. Lancers move back in front. But Lansdowne, yeah, they're not going anywhere. Turner rolling to his left, then going back across to Aiden Ross. Tallies 6 more. Eagles lead this one 24-21 at the break, but Manchester comes back for the 38-28 win. Shifting to 4A, where Hampton, the top seed, hosting Manor tonight. First quarter, Crabbers moving the ball. Marcus Chapman to Davion Perry. He'll make a move, then watch him carry some Mustangs a few yards, would lead to a Hampton touchdown. Crabber defense is big tonight here, forcing the fumble. Big Maurice Jackson coming out of the pile with it and turns in a nice return here. Rumbling down towards the pylon would lead to a Hampton field goal. To the second now, more from the defense. Casey Lassiter playing center field here for the Crabbers, coming up with the pick. Engineers a nice return. No trouble for Hampton tonight in the shutout victory at Darling Stadium. Well, Lake Taylor entering the playoffs atop Region 3A, and the Titans get off to a good start. That's right after this. Let's pick it back up with Region 3A. Lake Taylor welcoming Colonial Heights. Early on, it's the Keon Johnson Show. Here, rumbling in for the touchdown. Titans looking to dominate as the top seed in the region. Later, number 5 again. How about number 5 for 6? Makes a couple cuts, gets to the outside, finds Paydirt again. I guess it's number 5 for 12, technically, if you're counting this highlight. We're rolling at Lake Taylor. That's really all you need to see there. 49-6 the final. On to the next one for the Titans. They will get the winner of Tab and IC Norcom. And Norcom's up by a touchdown on Tab, and they make it 2. Hey, guys, check out this catch. Carly Franklin, the concentration, hot potato, pulls it in, off to the races. Another great catch we've seen tonight. Tab's going to try their best at getting back into it with the passing game, but the Greyhounds standing tall. Norcom's Danny Wade reads the play like first-grade English, almost goes all the way, but pushed out at the 10-yard line. The Greyhounds march on. 20-7, they take down Tab in Region 3A. York aiming for an upset at Petersburg tonight, picking up second quarter, 6-0 Wave when Xavier King takes the Falcons' punt, does special things on special teams. 62 yards on the return for 6, add a 2-point conversion. Petersburg goes up 14-zip. Later in the second, though, York gets on the board. Jordan Smith powering his way towards the goal line, and the official says touchdown. Falcons trailing 14-7 at the break. But the Wave pulling away in the third. Giante Lewis, 4-yard touchdown run there. First of 3 scores in the second half by him to make it 22-7. Falcons see their season come to an end with a 40-7 defeat. Let's catch you up on some other scores around the area. One to fill you in, Lafayette topping Denby. We had meant to have highlights on tonight, could not get them in. Apologies to Jen, who shot those highlights. I owe you one. Elsewhere, Region 2A, Southampton taking down, going on for the win there. And then we also had another victory, as you saw on the screen board before. Then, how about 1A here? Northampton rolling past Colonial Beach, 43-8. We are setting up some pretty fun matchups for next week in the region semifinals. So, to recap, Bethel upsetting Nansemond River. That was a big one. Kings Fork will face Bethel next week. Maury will take on Warwick in a pretty loaded 5B. And we'll see Oscar Smith take the field for the first time after their first round bye tonight. They're going to take on LC Bird out of Chesterfield outside of Richmond. Should be a good matchup next week there in Chesapeake. So we got a lot of them. We have Hampton. Phoebus and Churchland, meanwhile, will get going tomorrow. That's a 4 versus 5 matchup in Region 4A. The Phantoms looking for their 5th consecutive state title. They'll look to begin that match tomorrow as the 4 seed against a very determined Truckers team. So we'll see how that goes as well. That is going to do it for this edition of Friday Night Red Zone. Hey, jump on over to the WTKR Facebook page. No Limit Sports Live. We're taking your questions and letting the fans drive the conversation. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Stay warm now that it's winter, and have a great weekend, everybody.